My name is Adam Gomez. I am the Ward 1 Springfield City Councilor. For the third time I've been re-elected to the Ward 1 seat, and I am honored and privileged to be your MC today with so many beautiful faces at our 30th annual Puerto Rican flag raising here at City Hall. We are joined by many of our Puerto Rican leaders, our leaders in our community, elected officials. And before we start, I want to acknowledge our contributing and sponsoring organizations that have been part of this flag raising over the past 30 years. Bilingual Veterans Outreach Centers of Massachusetts, Springfield Puerto Rican Day Parade Committee, Puerto Rican Cultural Center, Boricua Solidarity Movement, the New North Citizens Council, Hispanic American Library, and Palante Theater, and the Women's of the Vanguard. Also, before I begin and I present our first speaker, I want to acknowledge my colleagues in government, joined and congratulations on his win in Ward 5. My colleague in Ward 5, Marcus Williams. Congratulations on your win, sir. And in a stunning victory in Ward 6, our new Boricua councilor out of Ward 6, Councilor-elect Victor Davila. Also, I would like to mention Ms. Acevedo from Congressman Neal's office. Jose Claudio, our champion from the North End, as per usual. Jose Claudio from the New York Citizens Council. Norman Roldan, that's here, for our former school committee member and also chairman of our board commission here at the city of Springfield. Also, I want to acknowledge a true champion that we have at the mayor's office that always helps us put this together, Minnie Marrero. Thank you. Another true champion in our community, Armando Feliciano. Director of Puerto Rican Culture Center, our brother David Silva. I apologize. Professor Silva, Professor X. Thank you, sir, for being here. I also want to acknowledge all of the media and our friends and people that showed up to make sure that you were a part of this momentous occasion. Our next speaker, our first speaker, I want to congratulate a partner that never says no to the Puerto Rican community. That during the time of Hurricane Maria, he opened up the city's doors. He opened up the facilities to make sure that we could get these donations. And what we did in Western Massachusetts was such a beautiful thing. And if it wasn't for the help of this great man, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be able to get onto the plane and really get to the necessary places. Our mayor, congratulations on his 5th. Now he's going to be the longest standing mayor of the city of Springfield. Our Honorable Domenic.
Gracias, thank you very much. And to Adam, thank you, Councilor Gomez, and to Councilor-elect Victor Davila. Congratulations, Victor. You worked very, very hard. And I also, we're going to sing happy birthday to him beforehand, but guess whose birthday it is? The Tasmanian devil himself, Herbie Flores. In Italian we say buono compleanno. So let's do a little happy birthday for Herbie.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Herbie. Happy birthday to you.
last thing, because I know we're going to be doing more with Herbie, but we just had 2 nice celebrations in City Hall, National Adoption Month, which is near and dear to my heart, having family members and friends. But we had the Department of Transition Assistance here, and it was a good story to tell. And Herbie's organization plays a big role in that. These are people, and many a times it has nothing to do with their situation, that need a little helping hand and empowerment, and now have come off a transition to stand on their own 2 feet. So Herbie, I thank you for being able to do that for us. We have a number of our men and women in blue, dedicated brave men and women in blue of Hispanic origin. Let's give them a big round of applause. Council Gomez hit on it, and I want to single out his dad. Veterans Day is right around the corner. Right around the corner, and that was such a wonderful article. Gumo, the whole family, his wife Ava, who we went to high school at Congress together. But I always want to remind people about our veterans. They allow us to lead the lives we lead, whether good or bad, because of our veterans. Let's give all our veterans here. And the last thing I'll say before we do the official proclamation, move this on to get the flag raised, is that Councilor Gomez, thank you for bringing up the tragic situation that occurred with Hurricane Maria. And I'm very proud of what my administration, all of us as a team, worked together. We were commended for what we did here in Springfield. We took on the most, the highest number of children and students in the whole Commonwealth of Massachusetts right here in Springfield. The New North Citizens Council served as my conduit, and we received rave reviews helping out our families, which are our brothers and sisters and American citizens of the United States of America. So many of you played a big, big pivotal role to help these individuals build back their lives, whether here in Springfield or back in Puerto Rico. So I commend each and every one of you. Thank you, Adam, for bringing that up. So now, we'll do the official proclamation. City of Springfield, Massachusetts, Mayor Domenic J. Sarno, home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Proclamation. Whereas the City of Springfield takes great pride in flying the Puerto Rican flag to celebrate the culture, history, and achievements of the Puerto Rican community, which, matter of fact, started, and Gumo will speak on that, 30 years ago. I was an assistant then for then Mayor Mary E. Earl. That's when he pushed about raising the Puerto Rican flag. Whereas the Puerto Rican community in Springfield was established in the 1940s, is now the home of over 50,000 Puerto Ricans and their descendants who have worked hard establishing businesses and home ownership. And whereas 2019 marks the 30th anniversary celebration of the Puerto Rican Heritage Month in the city of Springfield, we wish to recognize the positive impact that the Puerto Rican community has upon social, cultural, economic development of the city, state, and nation. And whereas members of the Puerto Rican community demonstrate a strong work ethic, tremendous perseverance that has enabled them to realize many accomplishments and find continued success. Such diligence has enabled them to improve the lives and communities, making our city and state a better place for all of us to live. And whereas, and I know this is special to Gumo and all the veterans, whereas Puerto Ricans have long made the ultimate sacrifice and have served the nation honorably by their participation in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Herbie and Gumo, and all major conflicts, especially the 65th Infantry Regiment, which Gumo has pushed tremendously to get national recognition, which they have received. Therefore, I, Domenic J. Sarno, Alcalde of the city of Springfield, not bad for an Italian kid, do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 7th, 2019, as Puerto Rican Heritage Day in the great city, a month in the great city of Springfield. And I encourage all our residents to be observant of this, but also want to thank the Bilingual Veterans Outreach Center. And I want to thank each and every one of you for continued belief and investment in the city of Springfield. I hand wrote here, continued success, thanks, God bless, and viva la Puerto Rico!
like to acknowledge one of people that has been a mentor to me, also Chair Juan Falcon from the Hispanic American Library, Sumali Rivera from Neighbor to Neighbor, and also our Assistant Superintendent, Lydia Martinez, over there in the back, but I seen her, so I have to acknowledge 30 years in the making. We appreciate you, we love you, thank you to all of our educators as well. Next, I want to give my regrets also from my colleagues that could not be here because of work and for personal things. Maria Perez from the school committee, that she is disappointed that she couldn't be here, but she sends her love and she's here in spirit as per usual. And my colleague on the city council, Orlando Ramos, that had to work. So moving forward, I'm going to introduce my state representative, our state representative, like the mayor nicknames him, Mr. Southside Economics himself, Carlos Gonzalez.
Muchas gracias, Councilor. Que viva Puerto Rico. Que viva los veteranos puertorriqueños. Que viva nuestro alcalde puertorriqueño. Thank you, Puerto Rican Mayor. Congratulations, Mayor, on your victory, and muchas gracias. Thank you for speaking a little Espanol, because that's what America is all about. It's about coming together and embracing the communities that we represent. The Latino community continues to be a significant presence here in Massachusetts, especially here in Springfield. When you say Puerto Rico, everybody says what? Yo soy puertorriqueña. Muchas gracias. Para mí es un orgullo ser puertorriqueño, también ser su representante del pueblo. Carlos González, para servirle. It's a deep honor to be from Puerto Rico, but also to be your state representative. I am happy to raise this flag today like we have for 30 years under the realm of Gomercindo Gomez. Where's he at? Sergeant Gomez. Thank you very much for your continued success, and for the second generation that continues to do it, Adam Gomez, our city councilor. To all of you who have been part of this for many years, we know that we raise this flag and we have a lot of challenges, but we also have a lot of celebrations to do. We also have come a long way. Today in the city of Springfield, you have 2 state representatives that happen to be from Puerto Rico. You have 3 city councilors that will be in January that come from Puerto Rico. You have bankers, you have teachers, you have police officers. Thank you. Our new Lieutenant Toledo, the first, is that the first or the second? The second Puerto Rican lieutenant. Third Puerto Rican lieutenant. Here we go. We're getting up there. Why is it there the 4th, Mayor? We'll get it. But that's what it's all about. We have people in higher education. We have people helping people that come from poverty. We're growing in home ownership. You know, not only in affordable housing, we are business owners, and if you look at the micro businesses of Springfield, we are growing in numbers like you haven't seen before. So we have a lot of celebration, and we got to make sure that we celebrate, and we celebrate each other more and more. Because it's not only raising the flag. Thank you. Right. Applaud yourselves, please. It's not only raising the flag because we say we're Puerto Rico, it's raising the flag because we eat rice and beans, y chuleta, because we eat bacalaíto, because we're proud of our language, we're proud of our culture, we're proud of our salsa music, we're proud of the new generation that's coming up the ladder, and we're trying to embrace upon them the importance of speaking Espanol. Because it's not about losing your language, it's about keeping your culture. Y la bendición es sumamente importante. It doesn't matter how old you get or how old you are. So thank you very much. I'm proud to be Puerto Rican, and thank you for the city of Springfield, all you do for the Puerto Rican community. Muchas gracias.
I would like to also bring forward my colleague for some words, Marcus Williams.
God bless everybody for coming out on this windy, chilly day. My name is Marcus Williams, as Councilor Gomez mentioned, from Ward 5, and I am just here. And it's always a beautiful event for beautiful people. The Puerto Rican family or heritage, it runs deep in Springfield. We all know that, and it's continued rising. But the Puerto Rican culture has also gone through its fair share of trials and tribulations over the past couple of years with Hurricane Maria, as well as in the United States of America as well. And I just read, as I picked up my phone a couple days ago, to read that there was a child that was denied his own medicine at CVS because he had a Puerto Rican ID. Well, isn't a Puerto Rican ID an American ID?
That's right.
That's what I said.
Right.
So we have to continue, and that's why it's important to continue electing leaders who are going to fight on behalf of those who are marginalized and disenfranchised. And that is my play, and that's what I will continue to do for your people who are my people as well. God bless you. Thank you.
And for the first time in his almost official capacity, it gives me great honor to introduce the next Ward 6 Counselor-elect, Victor Davila.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
My name is Victor Davila. I'm the new city councilor-elect from Ward 6, and what that feels good to say. I wasn't really prepared to speak today, but it's an honor to be here. And it is quite fitting myself, como boricua, como puertorriqueño, that my first act is to be the Puerto Rican flag raising ceremony. I'm really touched and honored by that. I want to say thank you to the mayor, Gourmet, for supporting this event today, and for 30 years for doing it. And that speaks to the commitment that City Hall has with the Puerto Rican community, with the Latinos community. You know, this past couple of days, this new wind for me has been sinking in, and it's a process. And one person comes to mind a lot, Representative Gonzalez. You remember this person very well, the late Ben Ramos. And I remember when I was much younger, he used to say, he looked at me and he said to me, Victor, you have another promise ahead of you. You have to pass it. But do remember that as much gain as we have made, we have only advanced this much. And so I come to the council and to work and to echo the Councilor Williams' words, to work for the people, to work for my ward for the whole city. And Mayor, I look forward to a partnership with you and doing some good for the people of Springfield. So, thank you everybody, and again, es un placer estar aquí, estoy muy emocionado, que viva Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
With some words, I would like to also introduce and bring forward Mr. Armando Feliciano.
Good afternoon. Viva Puerto Rico.
Viva! Viva!
I'd like to first say that standing here in this podium and standing behind and now in front of these two legends who were here in the very beginning when there was struggle and who put themselves in front despite the labels that they got, like to really recognize Domenic Gomez and Herbie Flores for the work that they've done for the Puerto Rican community and the work that they continue to do for the Puerto Rican community. I also like to thank Carlos Gonzalez, who was also here during those times when there was some struggle, and through their example and through their leadership today, we are a vibrant member of this community. We're an economic member of this community, and we also have a lot of people who are in leadership positions that if we were to recognize throughout this whole city, we would probably be here till tomorrow. I also like to recognize our mayor for the work that he's done and the people who he's appointed in very important positions and boards throughout this city that are keep in mind the inclusiveness of this community and the decision making of this city. And I want to just talk about the history of this flag raising. I also want to recognize a person who's no longer here with us. He's still alive, but he's no longer engaged. But he was a pillar in this ceremony. Is Mr. Juan Herena from the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. And Domenic Gomez together had this vision that our community should be recognized, and that our contribution should be recognized. And so I want to thank those people, and I want to say that 30 years ago, the first time we raised this flag, it gave us an encouragement, and it gave us the recognition that our community needs as contributors to the city. And I want to point out something. Recently, I had a conversation with somebody who said to me, "What, do you guys want to take over the city?" And I said, "No, we just want to make sure that we're part of it and that everybody has an equal opportunity." And I want to thank all of you for every little bit of contribution that you've done to the city. And this flag is something that we should say, "Qué bonita bandera." Thank you.
Thank you, Armando. One of the greatest things that we've accomplished is we can at least measure the contributions and the things that we have accomplished together as a community. And this is just one of them that we can measure, because it's been 30 years that we've put this great flag together, and I mean this great flag raising together. But not only this flag raising, but this year we're going to be putting together our 30th annual Puerto Rican Day Parade. This flag raising, this parade, over 50 years ago, we weren't allowed. It was illegal for us to fly our flag down Fifth Avenue. And the first time they did so down Fifth Avenue, they were stoned, they were hurt, and now it's the biggest parade on the continental United States. And we were honored to be honored by that parade. But moving forward, 30 years after, we have, under the leadership of our next speaker, being able to become, from 30 years ago, what my father and Freddy Moreno and Herbie and the rest of, and Maria Perez and a bunch of activists and advocates came together with this idea to become one of the biggest attended parades in Western Massachusetts. So I want to introduce a person that I learned from, because she keeps me level, essentially, and we grew up together on the same street, so it's okay to support her because she's one of us, right? But aside from that, it's great to put women in leadership and watch them grow and see them flourish. So without further ado, Victoria Rodriguez, our chairwoman for Springfield, Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Thank you, Adam. That was very nice. Very nice intro. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming today. This is an amazing turnout for an almost starting to rain type weather, and it's very chilly, but I'm glad to see everyone here today at our 30th annual Puerto Rican Heritage Month flag raising. I'm here as the chair of the Springfield Puerto Rican Parade and as a sponsor of today's event. This year's parade was our 29th year, which means next year is our 30th parade. This year we did the parade. We had almost 10,000 people just in general on the streets, waving their flags, something that we couldn't do back then and now we do now. I thought it was an amazing, amazing time. And we had our first gala this year. We had an amazing turnout for the gala, great music and food, and we are so looking forward to next year, which will be our 30th anniversary. The parade, save the date, will be on September 20th, 2020, and the gala will follow either before or after, but it will be around that same time period. So again, thank you for coming out tonight, and hueva!
All right, before we get into our special recognition, I introduce our last speaker before we raise our flag. I want to point out that Boricua Solidarity Movement has some sign-ups and paperwork going around. If you want to get involved with the Boricua Solidarity Movement, please sign up, email, number, and Zoom is right there. I'm going to my left eye so I couldn't see the profile, but she's right there. I just wanted to point that out. And lastly, our last speaker before we raise our great flag, my father, my mentor, the guy that I guess that created me and a lot of us. It's definitely being able to follow suit and to walk in his footsteps. I'm walking on top of giants, and it's a great honor to be able to represent not only my family but this community. A long time ago, not even 30 years ago, they still were counting us out, and this is one person, regardless of him being my father, he never counted us out. So I want to introduce my dad, my father, Emerson Gomez.
Well, if you look right, come on, there you go. Jesus Christ. If you look right in front of me, you will also see some more Gomez's part of me. It's a great day, but I do want to acknowledge one person who was also at the State House when Herb, me, Wilfredo Moreno, Maria Perez, and two others, Felix Morales, right there. He's one of the pioneers. He came straight from Puerto Rico so he can be here with us today. Right. So Felix was there with us, is one of those that have made this possible, now celebrating our 30th year. At this time, I am going to ask the Commander for Vietnam Veterans of America of the state of Massachusetts. A couple weeks ago, about a month ago I should say, I received a call from Mr. George Randall. George, right there. George runs the museum in Granby, I believe, Veterans Museum in Granby. And he said, Gumercindo, listen, do you know a florist guy that was with the 128th Aviation Company, 1968, 1969 Vietnam? I said, oh, the only florist that I knew that served in Vietnam and was an aviator, not gunner, helicopter gunner, is Herb. So I call Herb and say, Herb, guess what? Something's happening. Did you serve here, did this and did that? I say, yeah. I say, I got your baby. I got your baby. Mr. Mark Johnson, where are you, Mark? Come over here, Mark. You tell us the story.
I'm an owner-operator of a garage in Granby. I deal with used cars, towing. Sometimes people leave their cars. Sometimes they clean them out, leave what's behind. Sometimes I buy used cars and there's stuff in it. Well, I found a cigarette lighter in there from Vietnam. The name on it was, well, it's mine.
Give me that one.
Vietnam, 68, 69 helicopter. It belongs to Flores 128th Assault Helicopter. And I said to myself, I need to find this guy.
Oh my God.
I was in the 129th Assault Helicopter Company, and all my treasures are very dear to me. And I'm sure this must have been something for him if this guy was still living. I didn't know if he passed away over there, but I had to find out. And I got nowheres. So my wife had this on display at our museum, in Granby's museum for the Vietnam War. And my wife was telling George Randall the story, and he's a computer guy. I'm not. I think they're a big waste of time. And that's what led us here. And I'd like to present this to Mr. Flores, because I think he wants that.
I started a project a few months back, and that was to give each Vietnam in-country veteran this book which is the Massachusetts edition. And we needed to raise $1.5 million to get this book to every Vietnam veteran of Massachusetts that went to Vietnam. The governor and Secretary Francisco Rena helped me to raise that money. And one of those donors and Vietnam veteran was Herbie that went with me to that dinner that night. Herb, here's your copy of your book, and of course is autographed by the commander of Vietnam veterans. Also, Herb, because today's your birthday, I got your own Vietnam veteran knife. Happy birthday.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. That. You know what we used to do with this? Once in a while, we used to light up a joint. And for 55 years, I've been trying to make it legal, so I think we got it legal now. No, I don't have to words. This is very special. And I'd like to thank the Puerto Rican community and the overall community that support us on the stuff that we do. Many of the things that we, Gomez and Carlos and all of us in the leadership do, it's not about us. It's about the future. And hopefully the next generation will have it better than we did. There were many times we got arrested. I got arrested. By the way, I do have an arrest record. And any black or Puerto Rican that was in the leadership back then, Ray Jordan or anybody leader, got arrested because you had to protest. Swan, I think Swan got arrested too here. So anybody that was going to leadership, they told me you had to be arrested. So I got arrested in Springfield, I got arrested in Washington, D.C. with the demonstration. In Amherst. At one point, there was a target behind me, but anyhow, it's important to understand. Thank you for all of you for being here, giving us support. And the whole thing is the next generation, the way we see it right now. This city is a great city for us. I love this city. The mayor doing a great job, the state representative. But the important thing about the city is a city with all the contradiction and everything else. This is a city that opened the arms to all races from all over the world. And that's something that you see today. You have a city today, you have an Italian American that came over here from another country, and he's leading the city. But the city started by some guys, Pinchon, that came from England, I believe. And last week, a few weeks ago, we went there, and they gave me that honor. And I appreciate what the people support that. So what that said to me is what Ben Ramos used to say to us. Ben Ramos was one of the mentors that trained many of us, Carlos, myself. And Ben used to say one thing. If you think you have in bed today, some people had it worse than you did. Continue moving forward. Believe in God, be spiritual, we support each other. And the most important thing is we are Puerto Rican, but we are American. We will protect this country just like anybody else. So God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Herbie. Like Herbie. All right. So, in conclusion, I would like to ask Mr. Morales to come forward. Mr. Morales, my father, and Herbie Flores, if you can join each other, because you guys were the first ones to raise that flag on this 30th anniversary. I would ask you three to go to the flagpole to raise our flag. We're going to gather around right behind them, and I don't have the best voice, but we're going to sing together La Boriqueña. Testing 1, 2. I can take this mic with me. You see what I'm doing over here? Okay, prepared. A la una, a las dos. La tierra de origen donde nacido yo. I would like to thank everyone for being in attendance on our 30th annual Puerto Rican Day Parade flag raising. You guys are loved and appreciated. Please, please always remember to put your first Boricua foot forward. Thank you.